us. To the righteous I come in peace, and to all others I wreak havoc. And said it right, but I first must give honor and praise to the Creator, the ancestors, and elders, both known and unknown. Ashe. This first piece is entitled Grandmama's Hands Growing Up Tipsy. Grandmama's hands, like grandmama's love, is conditional. On the condition that I love the grandmamas that flow through her, our fingers and blood. She being the embodiment, the vessel of all the mamas, Mama Jessie, Little Mama, Big Mama, Miss Shoes, and my dears. Grandmama's hands, the hands she fanned with, the hands that she clasped in prayer, scrubbed clothes and other folks' clothes with, and floors. Brought generations into the world with, bathed them with, plaited my hair with, the hands that cut my face as she said, give grandmama some sugar. Her hands always giving, 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 never asking for recognition or applause because it isn't in her contract. The grandmamas in the grand, oh so grand answer, humbly though ballet to you and give you praise because it is in my contract. I always stand now, Grandmama would and frequently still does call me by my mama's, aunts, sisters, and daughters' names, because we're all the same, her babies. Accolades, awards, my certificate for elective office were all sent home because I didn't earn them. I simply showed up for class. Because my fare had been paid with a super transfer for a lifetime. The credit goes to them and the blame and mistakes are all mine. Grandmama's hands and smile, and if I can be plain, her ass gave me a black man even greater than my daddy. My granddad is grilled in the old world, the first world tradition, and I'm told 'cause I believe it, as gravity and time has not altered much of Grandmama's 5'4" frame. Grandmama had good numbers, breasts high, round, and full, a small waist, and a caboose that said, follow me, boys. One that could shelter midgets from the rain. She married my granddaddy for me. She's given me black folks supreme, all folks included holding nary degrees. See, I don't know the black men that got other sisters singing the blues, because I understand that a half a woman only attracts half a man. And then you got to come to the table with more than just your empty plate, fork, and spoon, and appetite. Too righteous and humble to be pretentious, yet wanting the best for our babies without the false pride that I had, and sometimes still do. They simply told me that I was the best and deserved it. And I was a deluded sister with bourgeois tendencies, champagne taste and Kool-Aid money. Was even online. Ski-wee. Love. But in my defense, I couldn't help it. I'm from the South Side. She washed, cooked, cleaned for Miss Ann, the mayor's wife. She had our house built, and in that house my mama was born, the house that my great-great and great-grandmothers transited to ancestors in, the house that Mama Jessie and Papa Lorenzo, though they had transited before we were even thought of, came to visit me and my siblings in. Yes, I grew up tipsy, and I speak with the ancestors regularly, but being a hard-headed child, I don't always follow directions. Elders tell me, child, you sure was raised right. I take no credit because it is not mine to take. I simply say, no sir, no ma'am, I was raised by Southern grandparents, and it's to be expected. Yeah, grandmama's hands. Humble grandmama taught me that instead of focusing on the things that I don't have, giving thanks and praise for all that I do, because some folks ain't got that. Orumila obuye, orumila obushushe, orumila obuye, obushushe. Yeah, my grandmother taught me that. Like I said, I grew up tipsy. Then when we moved from the south side to the woods, Maywood, Bellwood, and Broadview were still suburbs. Then the extended west side, now it's simply West Side. And I, in my youthful naivete, had the audacity to be ashamed of my folks' countrified ways, had the audacity to be ashamed of the folks that sent me to school, who was better than anyone else other than my siblings. spoken southern autism, country bonnets. Not wanting folks to come to our house for dinner because Grandma always cooks soul food. Yes, she feeds our soul. My heart, my gift, a boon, calls Grandmama's food real. And Grandma would say, just you keep on living. And living has evolved me to where I want to be 1/8 of the woman that my grandmama is. I was simple enough to believe that my grandmother was passive because she never called my granddaddy out. Now, my granddaddy taught me to assert myself, to be unbowed, unafraid, and unapologetically black. Now, my granddaddy may not have always been right, but he was never wrong. Like I said, he was a griot. At the head of our dinner table, he sat. My daddy, too, is right. Even my daddy don't violate to him. And Granddaddy will tell us stories because their history is fiction. Give it back. Families and friends being lynched in the same breath as he would say, pass the peas. And I never in all of my 30 years heard tell of my grandmama raising her voice or calling my granddaddy out. Although it may have been done, but it was never in front of us. In love and respect, strong blacks playing her position and knowing her place. My folks left the house that I grew up in to my husband. See, Granddaddy, who had known me before I knew myself, asked my husband, who he'd only known for 5 years. I was salty, but quietly so. But now I overstand. I love him more lovely. He was conducting main business, and he was keeping his family together. Keeping his Pookie, which is no longer his name for me, but her, happy, because her Yoruba and French names worked him. Shelters, finding paycheck stubs. As we moved the carpet in front of the floor, I discovered that Grandmama made more than Granddaddy. Letting a black man be the man countrified, she knew that money making was not the measure of a man. I want to be 1/4 of the woman that my grandmama is when I grow up. And I never heard tell of my granddaddy crying, not even when my mama was shot. But 5 years ago at 75, when my husband called them and asked them to speak to me because I wanted a divorce, and all he wanted me to do was to leave politics, this black stuff and voodoo alone and be a regular wife. As I fixed my mouth to tell another tired lie, Steve's in the shower, asleep at his mama's house, etc., etc. On the phone, he cried and drove up here to check up on his Pookie. Not me, her. All praises to my grandmama and her marrying my granddaddy for me. And as for my childhood friends, since now they told me, they thought we were rich and how much that they liked eating at our house because Granddaddy, yeah, they call my granddaddy, was hella funny and full of wisdom, and grandmama could put her foot in some greens. So in my grandmama's tradition, you might not get anything else, but you will get fed. And if you are a brother, sometimes food. And evolution has made me a low-maintenance woman. I don't give a damn for shrimp, swift, or lobsters. Just give me some macaroni and cheese dressed in peach cobbler or grits and you got me. And just living has brought to life that my suburban friends' parents were, in my grandmama's words, lying to keep in practice, acting sedity and trying to put on airs that they had been suburban bred and that they had never been south of Roosevelt or east of Austin. Knowing full well that they had arrived in the burbs a few minutes before we did because we all weren't allowed or welcome. And that they too come from the south and west sides of Chicago. And before that, they lying country Bama asses came from down south just like us. Now, grandmama, too righteous and humble to be pretentious, I gravitate towards elders that speak in honey-drenched southern rhythms. It soothes my soul and reminds me of home. And I wear my Mississippi roots on my head inside out. I bougie tripped lost my luggage and brought my black ass home. Countrified. I can pontificate, but I speak in southernisms, ebonics. Yeah, I'm more country than cheese, grits, and crackers, hors d'oeuvres. Oh, pardon you, hors d'oeuvres. And in the black southern tradition, you are known by who your people is, and I be Miss Minnie Lou Chafee Hodges, second eldest child, baby gal. And I pray to be one, half of the woman that my grandmama is when I grow up. I do pray.